Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear brothers and sisters, today the topic that we're covering is mental illnesses and the abnormalities of the mind. The world today is suffering through a huge mental crisis, and many mental abnormalities of the mind is a common problem throughout the Western world, and countless people are affected by it, especially in America and other Western counterparts, where this is becoming a pandemic situation in terms of depression, in terms of abnormalities, arrogance, and several other things which medically are considered to be abnormalities of the mind. And the same problem affects the spiritual world as well. The people of the spiritual world are also equally affected, and they reflect abnormalities in their behavior. And we are going to discuss this topic today, inshallah. In my father's 30 years of his spiritual journey, he has encountered countless spiritual people with great degrees of abnormalities of the mind, and it saddened him to state that even the most spiritual of people are completely mentally abnormal by medical standards. Their state of affairs are not normal, and their behavior is not normal, and one cannot say with assurance whether they go through life as normal human beings or are they of a different kind. Their abnormalities are also fully visible, and the people who surround them are fully aware of the kind of abnormalities that they show. But the people who are around them, they do realize it, they do experience it, but out of reverence or fear, they never speak of it. Even if they are angered or they are hurt, because the fear of the effects of it in this dunya and akhirah can be in danger. So people continue to absorb the abnormalities that the pious people also reflect, and people avoid discussion on the subject. Now the question is that where did these abnormalities come about from? You see, deen is about moderation, i'tidal, balance, and any form of excessiveness will take you away from that balance, will take you away from self-control, from restraint. When restraint is not practiced, excessiveness will be seen. Now, could it be excessive religious practice? Could it be excessive fanning of the ego? Could it be that the real deen was not being practiced in a righteous way, or was it because those people scoffed at worldly responsibilities? One must ask themselves that, am I abnormal? Is my behavior abnormal? Do the people around me, do they hold an opinion about my abnormality? Do I act abnormal? One must reflect on these matters. The heart has to remain fully focused towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His divine kingdom, because we do not know what is happening there. And yet at the same time, we must keep a watch over our iman, yaqeen, taqwa, yani fear of Allah. Shaitan will try various waswasas to enter the heart and will force us to think. But nothing should be retrieved from the mind and its memory and keep you busy in baseless and endless thinking. Yes, of course, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gifts one with an intellectual thought, one must think and wisely scrutinize the importance of it and whether it is real or imaginary. In general, excessive thoughts come from shaitan, and all foolishness, deceptions, and time wastage happens through excessive thinking. The moment some permissible activities or necessities or desires develop in the heart, shaitan will spread his wings and trap you in his chaos. And it's a very subtle act that happens. If prohibited desires get triggered, Allah will send His commands and displeasures will appear. Very soon, we will experience discomfort and massive nightmares which will pierce through our ego and nafs. Now, whenever you want to work on your priorities, responsibilities, or fulfill the rights of the people, shaitan will either develop forgetfulness or laziness in the body, or the mind will get focused towards non-priorities and create hundreds of obstructions that refrain you from duty. Be cautious that if we remain in ghafla, shaitan will begin to attack through various adverse situations from the environment that makes chaos a prominent part of our life, thereby leaving us confused and rattled. As a strategy for all Muslims, what we need is, number one, the Noor of Iman, the Noor of Quran and Sunnah of Prophet ﷺ always in the background. Number two, a calm body, silent tongue, or one that is engaged in the zikr of Allah. Point number three, the body must exhibit and reflect Quran, Sunnah, sayings and manners and etiquette of Prophet ﷺ in all situations to counter chaos. Time and thoughts must be well protected. And how must we do that? Point number one, negative thoughts. Point number two, foolishness. 3, deceptions. 4, darkness and destructions. 5, non-priorities. 6, responsibilities. 7, forgetfulness and laziness. This is what we must protect ourselves from. Many things will enter you through your senses, the environment, body, mind, heart, and memory. So firstly, scan whether they are stamped and backed by the commands of Allah and the Sunnah of Prophet ﷺ, to have adequate knowledge, to also take professional guidance and involve the Sharia. And this is how our focus should be guided completely. When we focus on these matters, this is what we will surround ourselves with. And one of the biggest crimes of our times is the wastage of time. And when we are lost in our excessive thoughts, or the gates of thoughts open, many blunders will happen. May Allah protect us and help us practice what we have learned, and may Allah make it a part of our lives, inshallah. Jazakallahu khair. Assalamu alaikum.